Okay, welcome back, Pre-Algebra. Time to finish the test. So this is test 25. We're going to do questions 11 through 20. Here we go.
Flack math! Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Flack math!
All right, number 11, jumping right in. This is just the fish method. We could just multiply the cross product and divide by the only other number there. So this is just 4/9 times 4 over 1 divided by 1/3, okay? So how do we divide fractions? We're gonna copy dot flop. So let's rewrite this. 4/9 times 4 over 1 times 3 over 1. Cool. We can cross reduce. This is gonna be awesome. Maybe not as awesome as I would have liked it to be. Okay, so we just can reduce that 3 and 9. Nothing else reduces, unfortunately. So 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 1 times 1 is 3. You can leave it like that. Boom, you're done. Good job. Moving on. All right, number 12. What do we think of mixed numbers? Yeah, me too. I don't like them. All right, let's change it to improper fraction. This is negative 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9 over 4. So 9/4 x minus 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves equals 15/8. All right, so this is just an equation. So we have to get rid of stuff and just be left with that x. So we have to get rid of this negative 9/4 and we have to get rid of this minus 5 halves. Remember, we're gonna get rid of the easy stuff first. So let's get rid of that minus 5 halves. This just works like any other equation. Just because there's fractions in it doesn't mean you change the rules. So add 5 halves to both sides. Okay, so we're left with negative 9/4 x over here. And then let's add these together. Well, we need a common denominator. 2 goes into 8 4 times. So 5 times 4 is 20. So now we're adding 15/8 plus 28, which is 35/8. Okay, cool. So now what is that negative 9/4 doing to the x? It's multiplying, so how do we get rid of it? We divide. So let's divide that. Divided by negative 9/4, sorry, number 14, negative 9/4. So really x equals 35/8 divided by negative 9/4. Okay, how do we divide fractions? That's right, copy dot flop. Copy dot flop. So that negative just kind of tags along the whole time. Just let it be awkward. All right, so we can cross reduce. That negative 4 changes to a negative 1, and that changes to a 2 because 4 goes into 8 2 times. All right, 35 and 9 doesn't reduce, so your final answer is x equals negative 35/18. Cool. Number 12, done. That was a tough one. Number 13, here we go. Okay, so we got negative 5x minus 5 equals negative 4x plus 4. So we've got variables on both sides, and that's okay. So that kind of messes up our strategy of get the variable by itself. Well, if you got variables on both sides of the equation, which one are you going to get by itself? Well, you can't get both of them by itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of one of them. So we're going to get rid of the smallest one. So what's smaller, negative 5x or negative 4x? Right, negative 5x. So how do you get rid of negative 5x? You add 5x. And whatever you do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. So it cancels it over here, so it's gone. And what are we left with over here? We're left with a negative 5. And then what happens when we add a negative 4x and a positive 5x? Well, they fight, and it comes down to 1x, or just x, plus 4. All right, now, we almost have x by itself. This 1 you don't really need. It's just x. So how do you get rid of that 4? Well, it's being added, so subtract it. All right, so you're left with that 1x, or just x. And then you have negative 5 minus 4. Remember, you're already at negative 5, and then you subtract 4 more, you go to negative 9. If it's too confusing for you, you can chicken scratch. So negative 5 plus negative 4 is negative 9. All right, good. That works. Number 14. So this time, you're going to simplify both sides first by combining like terms. And then we're going to get rid of the smaller variable on one side and solve it from there, okay? So this, if you can understand how to solve this equation, then you really are ready for algebra, okay? If you can't, that's okay. We're going to go over this a lot in Algebra 1 next year. But let's combine these like terms. Well, this is kind of confusing, so subtraction is dumb, so I'm going to make that plus negative. Bok, bok. All right, so now I'm combining a 6x and a negative 15x, which gives me a negative 9x. And then that 3 doesn't combine with anything on that side. And over here, I'm combining, let's see, chicken scratch. A negative 10x and a negative 6x is a negative 16x. And then a negative 3 and a negative 9 is a negative 9, or negative 6 is a negative 9. Okay? All right, now we've got simplified left side and a simplified right side. We can't do anything else. You can't combine these. They're not like terms. So now we can start to go across the equal sign and get rid of stuff and get the x's by itself, but we have x's on both sides. So what do? We get rid of the smaller x. So negative 16 is smaller than negative 9. So to get rid of that, we're going to add 16x to both sides. So to get rid of a variable term, you just add or subtract it. If it's negative, you add it. If it's positive, you subtract it. That cancels, and we're left with this. What is negative 9 fighting against a positive 16? That's a positive 7x. And you're left with that plus 3. And the only thing you're left with over here is a negative 9. Okay? Now we just have a normal equation here. We have to get x by itself, so let's get rid of that 3 first. By subtracting 3, subtract 3. So 7x equals negative 9 minus another 3 is negative 12. Then you have to divide by 7. And 7 doesn't go into negative 12. So you're just left with this guy, x equals negative 12 sevenths. And you can just leave it like that. You don't have to change it to a decimal or anything. All right, number 15, we just need to follow the order of operations here. We're just going to apply the exponents. The negative sign you don't touch, okay? The only thing you do is apply the exponents and roots. So be careful. This negative sign is inside parentheses, which means this whole thing is being squared, okay? So when you square a parenthesis, you square everything inside of it. The only thing that's being squared here is the 4. That negative sign comes down to the next line and it's not touched. The only thing you're squaring is that 4. So 4 squared is 16, okay? Minus. Well, what does this become? This is negative 2 squared. So think of it like this. That negative inside is inside the parentheses, and parentheses come before exponents. So first you make that 2 negative, and then you square the negative 2, which is a positive 4. Okay? So now you have negative 16 minus 4. Subtraction is dumb. So chicken scratch, boom, boom. Negative 16 plus another negative 4 is negative 20. Okay. That's not terrible. All right, number 16, we're gonna do order of operations again, parentheses first. So do that, write everything out else the same. Don't try to skip steps here, it's gonna confuse you. So 12 minus radical 25 plus 4 times 2 to the 4th plus, do what's inside these parentheses and you get 20. All divided by 4, just the 20 divided by 4, that's it. Okay, what comes next? Exponents and roots. So we're going to do this guy and this guy. So that is a 5, and that is a 2 to the 4th, not 2 times 4. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. Okay, everything else is written the same. So 12 minus 5 plus 4 times 16 plus 20 divided by 4. Okay, what comes next? That's right. Multiplication and division. So do those guys next. 4 times 16 is 64. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So everything else is written the same. 12 minus 5 plus 64 plus 5. Now we just go left to right. Okay, don't try to add these first or add these first. You're going left or right with addition and subtraction. Addition does not come before subtraction unless it's on the left. So go left to right. 12 minus 5 is 7, plus 64 is 71, plus 5 is 76. All right, number 17, same thing. We just do order of operations, so we're gonna do these parentheses first. So this is a 1, and this is a -3, okay? So how do we rewrite our problem here? It's 5 minus 1 plus 7 times 3 plus 11 all over 6. What's that mean when it's right next to a parentheses? It means multiplication. 6 times -3. Okay? Well, what comes next? Remember, this bar here means that all the top is in parentheses and all the bottom is in parentheses. So that's the final thing you do is divide those two. Okay? So let's do what's next, which is multiplication and division. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. Don't do this division because that's outside of these parentheses, okay? All right, so let's rewrite that. 5 minus 1 plus, what's 7 times 3? 21. Plus 11 all over 6 times -3 is -18. Okay? So now we just go left to right with addition and subtraction. 5 minus 1 is 4, plus 21 is 25, plus 11 is 36, all divided by -18. Positive divided by negative is negative, and 36 divided by 18 is 2. Boom. Number 18, what do we think of mixed numbers? Oh, they're okay. No, they're not allowed in your house. Mixed numbers are dumb. Change them to improper fraction. We like the improper fractions better. Okay, so 1 times 5 is 5 plus 4 is 9 over 5 divided by 9/7. Don't copy dot flop yet. If you do too much in your head, you're gonna lose it. Don't lose it. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So times 7/2 divided by 10/3. Okay? So now we're gonna rewrite these as multiplication problems. We're just copy dot flopping the division problem. So this is 9/5 dot 7/9 dot 7/2 dot 3/10. All right, now I'm gonna take out my red pen because now I get to have some fun. Not a lot, man, there's not a lot. So the 3 and the 9 is just 1 and 3. Okay, and then this 3 can cross-reduce with that 9, or you could have just reduced the 9s and 9s, and then you would have had a 3 on top. Either way, you end up with that 3 on top. So 3 times 7 is 21 times 7, which is 147, all over 5 times 2 times 10, which is 100. So you could leave it like that, or you could say 1 and 47/100 if you wanted to invite the mixed numbers back, whatever. Or you can leave it improper. That's what I do. All right, number 19 and 20. Last two problems and we are done. Okay, so 19. Find the volume. How do you find the volume? Area of base times height. Well, what shape is the base? It is a circle. How do you find the area of a circle? Pi r squared times the height. Okay? All right, so you need to know the r and you need to know the h. Well, the height they give you is 7, so that's our h, and then our r is 3, okay? So 3.14 we're using for pi. R is 3, so 3 squared, and then h is 7. So we get 3.14 times 9 times 7. So let's just figure that out on our calculator. 3.14 times 63. 197.82. So 197.82. And what's our units? Centimeters. Volume is cubic. So cubic centimeter. Boom. All right. Classify this angle. This is the last question of the year. How's that feel? Classify this angle as acute, right, or obtuse. Okay? I don't even know what to do on this problem. I mean, you got to know what an acute angle is and an obtuse. And if you do, then it's easy. This means it's 90 degrees. That's a right angle. So this is a right angle. Acute is less than 90 degrees, so it's acute. It's really little, and it's acute. Acute also means sharp. so that's a sharp arrow. Obtuse, kind of chubby. All right, that's what obtuse means, bigger than 90 degrees. So this is exactly 90 degrees because that little square says it's 90 degrees. Okay, that's it. That's test 25. That's your last test. You guys are gonna rock this test. I know it. Good job this year. Way to finish strong. I know it's been a tough one with all the craziness, but I'm proud of all you guys, and I hope to see you next year in Algebra 1. See you later.
Flack math. Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Flack math.